Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So in the last lecture we studied about the characteristics of organisms belonging to subkingdom non-chordates. Okay, now we are moving on to the next, that is chordata. Okay, phylum chordata. So phylum chordata, we will see the characteristics of phylum chordata which we had discussed in the first lecture, that is page number 72. These animals have supporting notochord in their body. All chordates are included in the same phylum. The phylum Chordata is classified into three subphyla. Following are the important characters of subphylum Chordata. This we had discussed already. Notochord is present in the body during at least any developmental stage. Pharyngeal gill slits are present. Single tubular spinal cord is present on the dorsal side and heart is present on the ventral side. These are the characteristics of phylum Chordata. Now, phylum Chordata is divided into three different subphylum. What are they? Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. There is a phrase to remember this: you clap vertically. Okay, you clap vertically. U stand for Urochordata, C is Cephalochordata and V is Vertebrata. Okay, now we will see the characteristics one by one. The subphylum Urochordata, they are mostly marine. Their body is covered by skin like test or tunic. Okay, you may see the diagram in the textbook. Their body is covered like a substance which looks like a tunic. Okay, next, larvae. It is free swimming. Larvae is free swimming. Notochord is present in only the tail region of larvae. Okay, larvae means the small part, the small one in its life cycle. Okay, one of the stages in its life cycle. When it is an larvae, then the notochord is present in its tail region. Okay, larvae metamorphose. Metamorphose means they develop, they go through different life stages. They go through different stages of their life cycle and form adults and settle to the bottom of the sea. Okay, larvae can swim, but the adults settle to the bottom. Okay, they are generally hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites means they are having both male reproductive system and female reproductive system in the same organism. Okay, example, Herdmania, Doliolum, Oikopleura, etc. These are the characteristics of Urochordata. Now we may move on to Cephalochordata. They are small, fish-like marine animals. Their notochord is present throughout the body length. In case of these, they are present only in the tail region, but in this case they are present throughout the body length. The pharynx is large and they are having gill slits. They are unisexual. Unisexual means both male and female are present separate. Okay, example, Amphioxus. Now the next is subphylum Vertebrata, also called as Craniata. Notochord develops into vertebral column. As they grow, notochord gets converted into vertebral column. Head is well developed. Brain is protected by a covering called as cranium. Endoskeleton, that means a skeleton inside. For example, we are having a skeleton inside. Okay, now in these organisms, the endoskeleton is cartilaginous or bony. Okay, cartilaginous means it is soft bone. Our ears is soft. Okay, that is said to be a cartilage. So the endoskeleton is cartilaginous or bony, which is made up of bones. Agnatha. Agnatha means which are jawless animals, and gnatha means which are jaw animals. Okay, so there are two types of animals under vertebrata: Agnatha and Gnathostomata or Gnatha. Okay, Agnatha are jawless animals and Gnatha means with jaw. Okay, so these are the characteristics of Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Out of these, the characteristics of Vertebrata is the frequently asked question. Now you may see the diagram on page number 72. Herdmania. There is a branchial aperture, atrial aperture, tunic. The body covering is called as tunic. Figure 6.21, that is of Amphioxus. Okay, there is a notochord shown which is towards the complete body length. Okay, now we will study about the different classes of vertebrata. So subphylum vertebrata sorry, is divided into different classes. The first three classes I have given here. The first class is a class Cyclostomata, class Pisces and class Amphibia. The next is class Reptilia, class Aves and class Mammalia. So we will study the characteristics of the first class. They are having jawless mouth. That means they don't have a jaw. Okay, they are having sucker-like mouth. Okay, so they are jawless mouth with suckers. Their skin is soft without any scale. If you have seen fishes, they are having scales on their surface. Like this you draw. Okay, even if on the body of the snake which you draw, snakes are having scales on their body surface. These organisms do not have any scale. Their paired appendages are absent. Appendages means leg-like structures which helps in movement. Okay, so paired appendages are absent. Endoskeleton is cartilaginous. It is having endoskeleton. That means the skeleton inside it is cartilaginous. In case of us, it is bony. Okay. Ectoparasites. They are mostly ectoparasites. That means they live outside the body of other organisms. Example: Petromyzon, Myxine, etc. The next is class Pisces. Pisces means fishes or Pisces. It is also spelled as Pisces. So class Pisces, they are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded also called as poikilotherms. Now cold-blooded means their body temperature changes as the temperature outside changes. I will take the example of our own and make you understand. Our body temperature, normal body temperature is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. We will take it as 37 degrees Celsius. Does our body temperature change if we go to a region where there is only ice? No. Our body temperature, normal body temperature remain the same. If we are having any infection or any type of disorder, our body temperature changes. Otherwise, our body temperature always remain the same. Okay, that is said to be warm-blooded. So we are warm-blooded. These organisms are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means their body temperature changes according to the surroundings. Okay, they can change their body temperature. They are also called as poikilotherms. So the question could be asked for 1 mark, what is meant by poikilotherms? They are aquatic. Okay, some of them are marine, some of them are freshwater. Their body is spindle shaped. Spindle shaped means just like our eyes, okay, tapering towards both ends. Okay, it is spindle shaped. What is the purpose of spindle shape? It is to prevent the resistance of water while they are swimming. The particular shape is to prevent water resistance. Okay, the body is spindle shaped to minimize resistance while swimming. They are paired and unpaired fins. You may see the diagram. The fins help the fishes in swimming. They are having both paired and unpaired fins which help them in swimming. Okay, so paired or unpaired fins which help them in swimming. They are having a tail fin which is acting as a steering organ. Steering organ means it uses it to change the direction while swimming. Okay, it uses the tail fin to change the direction while swimming. That is why it is called as the steering organ. Exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, that means the skeleton outside, it consists of scales. While you draw a fish, you draw scales like this. Generally, there are both type of fishes which are having exoskeleton and which do not have exoskeleton. Okay, So they are having exoskeleton, which are called as scales, and endoskeleton is cartilaginous or bony. Cartilaginous. In some fishes, their bones are not hard, they are soft. They are said to be cartilaginous, and some are having bones which are very hard. So their endoskeleton is cartilaginous or bony. Respiration is through gills. Example, rohu, pomfret, seahorse, shark, electric ray, stingray, etc. So these are the characteristics of class Pisces. Next is characteristics of class Amphibia. These are the organisms which lay eggs in water. Okay, this is one of the most important difference between Amphibia and Reptilia. Okay, Amphibia lay eggs in water, whereas Reptilia lay eggs outside water, okay, on the land. Now class Amphibia, they are strictly aquatic during larval life. When they are a larvae, they are strictly in water. After that they can come out onto the land. Okay, so what are amphibians? Amphibians are those organisms which can live both on land and in water. Okay, so they are strictly aquatic during larval life. They are aquatic, they are having both aquatic and aerial respiratory organs. While in water, they respire through skin, and while on land, they respire through lungs. Okay, so they can perform both aquatic and aerial respiration. Aerial means on land. Next, two pairs of appendages. Okay, they are having two pairs. They are having forelimbs and hind limbs. That means four legs. Forelimbs means hands. These are our forelimbs. Hind limbs means legs. Okay, so in case of a frog, the front two legs, they are called as forelimbs, and the back two legs, they are called as hind limbs. Okay, so they are having two pairs of appendages. Digits without claws. Okay, though they don't have digits, so these are called as digits or palm, and these fingers, they don't have claws. They cannot hold like this. Okay, so they don't have any claws, so their digits are without claws. Claws means panja. Okay, external ear is absent, tympanum is present. External ear, we are having an external pinna. Last year you had studied about the structure of human ear. The external ear, it is pinna. Okay, the outer part, it is called as pinna. Inside there is a canal, and there is an ear drum which is called as tympanum. In case of these organs, external ear is absent, but tympanum, that is ear drum, is present. The neck is absent. The eyes are having eyelids. So what are the characteristics of class Amphibia? Strictly aquatic during larval life. They can perform both aquatic and aerial respiration. They are having two pairs of appendages. Digits are without claws. Exoskeleton is absent. That means their body do not have scales. The skin is kept moist for respiration. So I told you, while in water, it undergo respiration with the help of its moist skin. So their skin is very soft and watery, moist. The external ear is absent, but tympanum is present. The neck is absent. The eyes are with eyelids. Example, frog, toad and salamander. Now we will see the diagrams on page number 73. Figure 6.23 you may see. Class Psychostomata, Petromyzon. Their body is, they are jawless. Their mouth is having a sucker. They do not have jaw. Okay. Class Pisces. The diagram is very important. Most frequently asked question, that is this diagram. Okay. It is having a mouth, gill slits, fins are very important. Okay. So you have to label all the parts which has been given in the diagram. Diagram is very important. The next is class Amphibia. You may see the tympanum. There is a small dot which is shown behind the ear. That is tympanum, which is eardrum. It is placed internally. Okay, there is a mouth, there are nares. Nares means nostrils. They do not have nose like us, they are having openings, so they are called as nares. They are having soft skin, leg, and some are having rough skin. Okay, so these are the characteristics of class Cyclostomata, class Spices, and class Amphibia. Now we will see the next. These are the characteristics of next three classes. Class Reptilia. They are the first true terrestrial animals. Terrestrial means which live on land. They show creeping movement. Okay, why do they show creeping movement? Because they cannot lift up their body. They are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means they can change their body temperature. One word for it is poikilotherms. They creep on the surface. Their body cannot be lifted up. Why do they creep? Because their body cannot be lifted up even if they are having legs. Their skin is dry and scaly. Their skin is dry and scaly. Neck is present. There is a neck between head and the body. External ear is absent. Digits are with claws. Okay, so what is the difference between amphibia and reptilia? Amphibia, their skin, in case of amphibia, their skin is moist. They do not have scales. In case of reptilia, their skin is dry and they are having scales. In case of amphibia, neck is absent. In case of reptilia, neck is present. Okay, external ear is absent in both the cases. Digits are with claws in reptilia and the digits are without claws in amphibia. Okay, now class aves. Aves means birds. Okay, they show strictly aerial life. That means they can fly in air. They are warm-blooded, also called as homeotherms. Warm-blooded means the body temperature remains constant. It cannot change. Their body is spindle-shaped. Spindle-shaped means tapering towards both ends. Okay, pointed towards both ends. Why it is pointed? It is to minimize the resistance while they are flying. In case of fishes, it is to minimize the resistance while they are swimming. Here, it is to minimize the air resistance. Okay. Next is forelimbs. Forelimbs in case of us, hands. Hind limbs means legs. In case of aves, in case of birds, their forelimbs are wings. Their digits are covered with scales and they bear claws. Okay, their legs. You might have seen they are having nails. They are having claws. The exoskeleton is their feathers. Exoskeleton means the skeleton outside is their feathers. Neck is present. Jaw is modified into beak. Example, peacock, parrot, pigeon, duck. Okay. Now class Mammalia. Mammalia are mammals which are having mammary glands and give birth to young ones. They do not lay eggs. Okay. So presence of mammary glands, this is one of the most important characteristic. Warm-blooded, body is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. Digits are having claws or nails or hooves. Hooves means in case of cows and buffaloes and horses, the tok which is having, okay, it is having a thick part, the hooves, they are called as hooves. Okay, so exoskeleton, it is in the form of fur or hairs. Example, elephant, human, kangaroo, dolphin, bat, etc. So these are the characteristics of reptilia, aves and mammalia. Hope you have understood the characteristic. Now there is a phrase on how to learn in order the different classes of subphylum Vertebrata. It is Cinderella is princess and remaining are maids. Cinderella C, it stands for Cyclostomata. Princess P, it stands for Pisces, that is fishes. A, it stands for Amphibia. R stands for Reptilia A stand for aves and M stand for mammalia. Like this you may learn the different classes in order. Okay, now you may see on page number 74 there is a use your brain power question. Animals like ghadial and crocodile live in water as well as on land. Are they amphibians or reptiles? They are actually reptiles. Why? Their body is covered with scales. They lay eggs on land and their digits are with claws. Neck is present and they creep. They creep because their body cannot be lifted up. Okay, so these are the characteristics of reptiles basically, so they come under reptiles. Animals like whale, walrus live in water. Whether they are included in Pisces or Mammalia, they are included in Mammalia. Why? Because they are warm-blooded, because they respire through lungs, because they are having mammary glands. That is the most important characteristic. They have mammary glands, so they belong to class Mammalia. Okay, so the questions which could be asked could be distinguished between, or to write the characteristics, okay, or the diagrams. You may see the diagrams also on page number 74, figure 6.26, class Reptilia, wall lizard. Okay, aves, it is one of the most important diagram, most frequently asked diagram, that of a pigeon. And bat, okay, the wings of bat, legs, okay, the labelings are important. Either you could be given a diagram and the labeling could be asked, otherwise they could ask the diagram itself. The question from the exercise are very important. Generally the questions are from the exercise itself, but in this chapter you have to learn each and every point. You have to learn the different classifications, okay, then you have to learn the characteristics, the criteria for classification, okay, then the characteristics of all those belonging to non-chordates and all those belonging to chordates. Okay, you may read the chapter twice or thrice, and if you are having any doubts you may ask. So we have finished with the chapter. Okay, if you are having any doubts, ask. Thank you.